Hey everybody, it's not Friday, it's actually Saturday, but it's still time for some Optimism 101. I'm gonna be a little bit flexible with myself in these videos and lectures because I'm going through a lot of change these next few weeks as I move from Florida to Boston, and there's a lot going on, and like it's starting to hit me that I'm gonna move away. But anyway, today what we're gonna be talking about is optimism and how the relationship with our siblings also teaches about our future relationships. And literally, like it's gonna be very short today because I mean we could go forever about siblings and what we learn from our siblings and what we learn from our interactions. And the thing about siblings is that when we do have siblings, those of us who have or had siblings, we're able to have people or peers that are close to our age, or still somewhat depending on the age difference, but that are usually close in age, and that they're your peers. So different from the relationship that we might have with our parents or caregivers, there is no real power dynamic. It's more like you're equals to some extent. Obviously, usually there's differences between firstborn and secondborns and lastborn and things like that, a middle child and all that. But in general, children or siblings are all like at the same level. So when you have to share toys, you have to negotiate. When you have to go on a trip and you're in a car, you have to negotiate things. So that negotiation between and how we get along with others and how we adapt and adjust is really essential for future relationships, because children or siblings tend to be our first friends, and just like friends, our future partners hopefully will be also our friends, and they will be there for us, and they will be able to, as we are negotiating things for them, they would negotiate things for us. And it's not that there's no limits or no boundaries or unconditional, but it's more about like, okay, I can make this work, let's make this work, how do we make this work? And basically that's what happens when you have siblings. When you learn at a young age that there's this other human being that is not going to do just things as you like, but that you're going to have to kind of like find a way to have a happy medium between what you want, what they want, and what is good for both of you, then that sets the stage for practice to be more optimistic in future relationships. Of course, that's taking the approach that the relationship at a young age is actually positive, because there's other siblings who don't have necessarily a positive relationship. In my case, I was fortunate to have a very good young brother for 24 years. And he was the best. But I can tell you that I learned a lot from him, more than I think he would ever learn from me. I learned to be less neurotic, and I learned from him, I would say, it was like he used to say, like, take it easy, like, cogerla suave, like, don't stress so much, David, about life. And nothing has to be, just perfect, and don't plan so much, and just to let life flow. And those things were hard for me because at a very young age, or younger than I am now, I always felt that I had to control things. I had to have it was very hard for people to surprise me, because I always know what's going on. I know what's coming. And honestly, one of the things that has been the most challenging out of this whole trip is the fact that, yes, I know I'm going to Boston to a new job, but I'm managing so much uncertainty that before it would have been overwhelming, but now it feels like I'm following my brother's advice of just take it easy and things will unveil. So that's kind of like how our siblings, whether it's male or female, always have such a big impact on us. And that's why, I value very much family and siblings especially. So it's like, for me, it's heartbreaking when I see people who don't get along with their siblings, or who are always like conflict or anything like that. And it's normal to have tiffs and discussions and arguments, but for the most part, you just have to get along. Like, you have to make it work when it comes to siblings. And that's maybe like how I was raised, where, you know, when somebody you consider to be family, you never give up. You always kind of like continue and try and try and try, even if it means taking breaks and taking time and space, but coming back and trying and trying.